Hi everyone, my name is Kayla and welcome back to Kay's Hidden Shelf where we talk about books. I wanted to post this video as quickly as I could in order to help spread awareness about it, and that's an upcoming change Amazon is making to Kindle ebooks and the accessibility we have in downloading them to our own PC or other devices. As of February 26, Amazon will be removing the download to USB feature for their ebooks. And these are ebooks that consumers have paid for. This isn't part of Kindle Unlimited. This is an ebook you purchased for however much it cost you, and you will no longer be able to download it to your computer or to transfer it to other devices. It will be essentially locked into your Amazon account. So if you want to back up your purchased Kindle books, if you want to make sure they are downloaded to your PC, what have you, now is the time to do it. And I'll give you directions on how to do that. You will want to start by logging into your Amazon account. From there, you will go to Content Library, select your purchased ebooks, click More Actions, and Download to USB. From this point, you will need to select the device, but that's just a button you need to click. Really, it will be downloading to your PC. So this needs to be done individually for each book you have purchased, each ebook you have purchased, which, depending on how many ebooks you have on your Amazon account that you've paid for, this might take some time and it is tedious. So I would recommend putting something on in the background, grabbing a snack, a drink, what have you, and just find a rhythm and go with it. And hopefully it doesn't take too long, but like I said, time consuming and tedious. Unfortunately, there's no bulk way of doing this, so it is the only option if you do want to back up your paid for ebooks. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about digital content ownership and how this is going to change the whole scheme of it just by changing this one feature. In a world where we have digital content at our fingertips, there's a widely known view that if you are paying a flat fee per month, whether it is for streaming movies, TV shows, music, or, for example, Kindle Unlimited, that a streaming service, a borrowing service, does not necessarily mean you own the content that you are paying that flat fee for over the course of the month. However, with Amazon's ebooks, it's different. It has a different sense to it in terms of ownership because you are paying an individual cost for a specific ebook. And there is that sense of ownership to it as a result, and the freedom to do what you wish with that ebook, whether it's putting it to another device, what have you. But in this case, by removing that feature, they are now changing what that means for consumers. And like I mentioned, Kindle Unlimited is already considered technically a streaming or a borrowing service. When you are done reading a book that's available on Kindle Unlimited, you simply return it to Amazon. You do not own it. You don't own a copy of it. You cannot download a copy of it even if you tried. So there is a visible distinction between the two in terms of ownership, and now that is basically being removed from the platform. Now, I realize that not all readers will care about this change. Some will, and that's why I'm making this video, in hopes that I can get the word out to readers that this will impact and they can download a backup of their libraries before this change is implemented. There are other effects of Amazon's choices in terms of ebook management, if you will, from removing ebooks from paid users due to copyright issues or what have you, or updates to editions without knowledge or consent by the owner. Now, that's not always a bad thing to have an updated version, but for people who have gone specifically out of their way to purchase a specific edition of a book and not want it tampered with, that's something to be mindful of as well. There are just a flurry of other videos that better describe those circumstances if you're interested. So definitely go check those out if you're wanting to learn more about that aspect of Amazon's management of ebooks in that regard. Personally, I do think this will change the impact of digital ownership and will probably have negative impacts, especially for readers and indie authors. So if you're a reader who primarily reads indie books and you're an indie author and you're locked into Kindle Unlimited, for example, I know for myself, it's really hard to find a lot of the indie books that I want to read on Kobo, for example, which is a Canadian competitor. And for that reason, I went with Kindle, but now I will probably be rethinking that. I originally had a Kobo, and this is one of the first ones I think that ever released from Indigo at the time. And I had it so long that it essentially was unusable. It was so slow. And so my husband did research and got me a Kindle a few years ago. And it's hard to justify going back to Kobo when there are expenses to buying it. There are those downsides of not being able to read the indie books that I love or have them as accessible as they are on Amazon. But I do think long term, there will probably be some downfalls to indie authors and readers who delve into the books by those authors as well. With that being the case, I do think it will be a wait and see situation in terms of what Amazon's intents and actions are moving forward with the concept of ownership on digital media, such as ebooks, through their platforms. It's going to be interesting to watch, essentially, but definitely stay tuned. Keep yourself informed, whether it's here on this channel or any other channel that is discussing it. If this impacts you, I would love to know your thoughts down below, your concerns, your questions, all of it. Leave your comments down below. I hope this video has helped someone out there in terms of backing up their library even. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. As always, take care of yourselves.